Alright, quick update on 1EARTH. 1EARTH is being one of the top performers today, up almost 19% as of the time of recording this. Looking at this on the daily, the past 2 days or so, we have seen a tiny bit of volume coming in for this, but we are still in an exponential downtrend, and we don't have a plethora of data traded on this, especially on the Femex pair. Unfortunately, the price charts for 1EARTH are pretty mundane at this moment in time. For trading view, I mean, you can see this KuCoin, this would be the wrapped ETH pair, so no good to us. And then Gate.io, there's really not, I think Gate.io is probably our longest trading chart, or no, KuCoin as well. KuCoin has a little bit more data, so we might actually be moving over to this chart. But even so, hopping over to the daily, you can see this really just kind of tells us what we already know and what we were already looking at over on the 1EARTH chart over here. So if I look at this on the 4-hourly time frame, because like you can see, you know, the trend, it just kind of talks about what I would already be talking about. We're in a massive downtrend. If you hop over to the daily, it's much more obvious. You can see sometimes on the 4-hour, like when you're around this region, it flips bullish, but that is simply a failed retest on the daily EMA. So I would be focusing on the daily EMAs on the macro time frame, and as you can see for 1EARTH, you're really not bullish whatsoever until you do break above about 2.5 cent. I really want to see more, like 2.5 approximately, get flipped, and then you could argue, at least in the short term, we're bullish. In my opinion, at this moment in time, while Bitcoin is capitulating, for example, this breakdown of this triangle looks very similar to this breakdown of this triangle here, and I was here in 2017, and what I want to tell you is it looks very similar. And during the next week that soon ensued, altcoins got absolutely slaughtered against Bitcoin. So be very cautious trading altcoins. I've been saying this in all my altcoin videos. I do think altcoins are about to get lined up for the slaughter and absolutely decimated against the Bitcoin and USD pairs. But looking at 1EARTH on the 4-hour, you can see we've got a tiny little dinky pump over on the squeeze momentum indicator, indicative that the bulls are at least trying to take control of this uptrend. But the last couple of times we've seen this, you can see it was nothing but a failed retest after failed retest after failed retest after failed retest after failed retest. I see nothing changing at this moment in time for 1EARTH. I'll be the first to let you know if we are breaking bullish, but in my opinion, what we saw today, 19% pump, is a dead cat bounce. Why do I think this is another dead cat bounce? To wrap up the video, back up my thoughts. Well, look at this candle wick that we've got here. We've got an inverse hammer. Why is this so bearish? This means that, you know, the price came up and the sellers are very strong. It clearly seems like I'm not the only one looking at the 1EARTH daily EMA ribbons, because every time we come into the daily EMA ribbons, selling volume goes absolutely crazy and we completely capitulate and get pushed back down. The next day we open, we capitulate. So looking at this, it's a running theme. As soon as you start to see these, you know, inverse hammers, or rather, some of these aren't all inverse hammers, but some of these just have huge amounts of big wicks to the upside, which is not a good sign. It simply means that, you know, like I said, the sellers are pushing down the price. Every time we come up into these EMA ribbons, sellers just absolutely unload their bags, and that is what we're seeing now. We've been pushed down. We might be up 19% on the day, but we've capitulated about 41% on this wick. And this is really not the first time that we've done something like this. So be very cautious if you are looking to get in on this right now. You know my thoughts. I talked about this on the stream yesterday. I've talked about this in all my altcoin videos. But I do believe altcoins are going to get massively decimated in the next month or so against Bitcoin. I think it's coming next week. Let me know what you think of that down below. But yeah, I don't think that 1EARTH is out of the blue. I still think 1EARTH is exceptionally bearish against the US dollar. We haven't got our EMA ribbons loaded in yet, but you can see, zooming out on the weekly, this is really not a good sign. You know, when you've got this huge influx of volume as the price is dropping, that's indicative that we're not near a bottom. And I'll give you a flip sign of that, because it works the opposite way as well. Let's take, for example, when we dropped into here, you could see volume was dying out and it was very flat, and it was followed up by green buying volume. And that's why when we came down, we soon reversed, at least in the short term. But what happens when you've got exponential selling volume like we're seeing then and like we're seeing again now? It simply means that the more and more selling volume wicks you get in like this, week over week over week, it just means the price is not done dumping. And the fact that we're about to, once again, I mean, it looks like we've already capitulated. These were your lows at 1 cent, and we're capitulating below them. So if we do continue to break down, this is really your only line in the sand, and that is half a cent, coming in at 0.0051. If we do capitulate below, you know, that half a cent level down here, then I hate to say it, but you are screwed, and this is going to get completely and utterly decimated against both Bitcoin and the US dollar. I'd say keep an eye on this on the weekly. The weekly close is coming in the next 30, 34, 36 hours or so. Not sure on the exact time of that, definitely less than 48 hours now. But yeah, we're not looking good, especially if we close a weekly candle close below 1 cent. Then, you know, that is a confirmed retest of this, confirmed rejection from this. That probably is indicative that we're about to take out the lows at half a cent again. And I would be expecting 1EARTH to, from where we bounced today, capitulate another 55%, which is literally another 47% from where we are now. I am expecting lower price targets for 1EARTH. I do wish you the best of luck if you plan on trading this anyway. You know my plan. I'm only buying Bitcoin when Bitcoin's in these levels. I was here in 2017 and I witnessed fear and greed, mainly greed, take over this weekly candle. A huge amount of greed came in while we were clearly breaking bearish. Retail traders got sucked back in. They went all in on altcoins, which is kind of what we're seeing the past couple of days. You know, NFT prices still going up, you know, move to earn still popping. And yesterday specifically, huge amounts of greed from people buying the dips down here. I saw this all in 2017, and I can tell you, in my opinion, I could be wrong, I don't have a crystal ball, I'm not going to get every call right, but I'm looking at this from a probability scale. I'm telling you, in my opinion, next week, if not in the next month, all of these altcoins are going to get slaughtered against Bitcoin. So in my opinion, I think my trading plan makes sense to definitely hold on to Bitcoin. Let me know what your trading plan is down below. One trading plan isn't going to be the same for everyone. Everyone's got different amounts of money. Everyone's got different amounts of risk that they are willing to take on in their portfolio. Right now, my portfolio and my trading plan is moving into a quote-unquote risk-off phase, and my idea of a risk-off phase in the crypto markets is to go all in on Bitcoin, sit on the sidelines, as I've been looking at these Bitcoin pairs, and everything against Bitcoin is massively capitulating. You can see Axie Infinity capitulating against the Bitcoin pair, Gala Games capitulating against the Bitcoin pair. If we finish off with, I'm not going to use ICP because ICP is capitulating against every single asset in the entire world. I think like Expired Chicken probably performs better than ICP, but you know, looking at Solana against Bitcoin, Solana is a great altcoin in my opinion, and it was holding up better than all the other altcoins, and now this is massively capitulating. This is a telltale sign in my opinion that all these altcoins are soon to capitulate against Bitcoin. So best of luck if you plan on trading 1EARTH anyway. Like I said, my trading plan isn't going to be what everyone wants to do. This is simply my trading plan. I wish you the best of luck, but looking at this objectively, you know, until we do flip these EMA ribbons, even from a technical perspective, if you want to ignore everything that's going on in the macroeconomic markets, until you do flip these and start to head up, then nothing's changed. We get these huge pumps every now and then, but as you can see, they're always just short-lived pumps. They come up, you know, 50-60% pumps, they get rejected from the EMAs, and then they head back down the next day. So keep an eye out for that tomorrow. Best of luck. Hope you found value in this. Cowboy out. Peace.